You'll remember President Trump postponed Speaker Nancy Pelosi's trip overseas via taxpayer-funded military aircraft, suggesting she fly commercial instead due to the shutdown. And our next guest agrees with the move, blasting these expensive trips on taxpayers' dime in a new op-ed. Tom Fitton, president of Judicial Watch, is here to break down the cost. Tom, good morning to you.
Good morning.
You all looked at how much Speaker Pelosi has spent on air travel, military air travel, and you tracked it down to 2 years. She spent over $2 million in 2 years. Going where?
Well, back home to her district, we were providing military travel back home to her district. One of the concerns they had in the emails that we uncovered, this is now 10 years ago, was that she would set up these trips every weekend, and sometimes she'd cancel them, which put, obviously, the Air Force put them out, and the staff that were scrambling to put these planes together for her out. And then they had these congressional delegations abroad where Congress would bring their a lot, and you know, it was a big party in the sense that they would have booze on these planes. We have the receipts for the booze. The liquor list is longer than my arm, and it's an incredible waste of tax dollars, these CODELs or congressional delegations. And you know, when you look at the email, Steve, I think many Americans will be upset at the way the Air Force was being treated.
Right.
At one point, the Air Force said that you know, there weren't planes available, and the response back, well, we're going to have an unhappy speaker.
Look at that. We've got one of the emails from the Department of Defense. They say they have a history regarding the Speaker's office. They have a history of canceling many of their past requests. Any chance of politely querying them if they really intend to do all of these, or are they just picking every weekend? The average cost of one of these CODELs, a congressional delegation trip, is just under $250,000. And it's important for our lawmakers to go abroad and see what they're spending money on, Tom. But you're saying Nancy Pelosi is abusing her privilege.
Yeah, for the most part, most of these trips can be done on commercial planes. They don't need these military luxury jets that are put out there. You know, there's a whole fleet over at Andrews Air Force Base. Air Force One is famously known, but there are other planes that are pretty cushy. And at one point, one of them said, the military said to her, you know, we don't have the planes available. Is there any way they can fly commercial? And the response back from her office was, well, you know how that gets with the spouses. They loved the military jets at the time because the spouses could ride on them for free. Oh. They flew commercial. The spouses had to pay their own way. And Ms. Pelosi had her family on a lot of these trips.
Gotcha.
So you know, this is basic oversight. And members of Congress from both parties are happy to go on these congressional delegations, which are really junkets.
They do it all the time. All right. Tom Fitton, read his op-ed at foxnews.com. Tom, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Steve.
All right. Meanwhile, on this Friday, you wonder why Brian is